Editing is one of my favorite parts of doing photography. The whole process of watching a photo transform to look like your vision and what your style is as a photographer is just something that I really like. Today we're going to be editing a portrait in Lightroom. Now this is a portrait I took during one of my street photography walks, which you can find a bunch of on this channel or on my Instagram. I'm going to be editing using my Lightroom Moody preset. Yes, in case you didn't know, I do have a Lightroom Moody preset that I use almost all the time. It's really great. It works perfectly for portraits and street photography. In the last few weeks, I've been showing you guys how it works and what it can do for your photos. And if you want to get it, you can use the first link in the description below to get it for yourself. Now, I've received a lot of positive feedback from everyone who has been using it. And if you're one of those people, then I thank you so much. And if you have used the preset, let us know in the comments what your thoughts are about it. But I have a feeling that you're loving the preset. Now, for those of you that haven't gotten the preset yet, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how it works, how amazing it is. I might be a little bit biased, but it truly is great. And if you want to get it, you can use the very first link in the description below. Now, if you like my videos, you like my channel, and you want to support me, this is a great way. Welcome and welcome back. My name is Samuel. This is Human Photographs. On this channel, I create photography content. Enough yapping. Let's get into the video. Well, usually what I would do when I'm editing a portrait is go here to the crop overlay and try to crop the image to have a better framing. But surprise, surprise, I actually did nail the framing on this one. As I usually say, I like to have the third horizontal line be right on the eyes, and it looks like I've succeeded this time. Now I might just raise it up a little bit so it's like right on the eyes. Perfect. But there's not much else to do. So what I'm gonna do is apply the Moody preset. Boom. And this was just one click. We have the Moody preset. Let's look at a quick before and after. So boom, this is before and this is after. As you can see, this Moody preset is doing a lot already. Now look at the background, right? The background is kind of bright. Some spots are overexposed and really bright and distracting. But with the Moody preset, it's darkened every bright spot in the background, right? So that our subject can stand out even more. Later on, we're gonna be using masks to make her stand out even more from the photo. Now, I know a lot of people will just use the preset and stop here, but you already know, as I always preach in these videos, I love to just go in the photo after I use the preset and make some adjustments. And I feel like everybody should do this because we're not all shooting with the same cameras, we're not all shooting at the same settings or the same lens, right? We're not all shooting with the same style even. So whenever you apply a preset, always go in and make some minor adjustments to make sure that it fits with your photo. So what I'm gonna start by doing here is just raising the shadows to bring back a little bit of details, just like this. I'm gonna lower the whites because I don't want any bright points on this photo. I'm also gonna lower the highlights a bit like this. Now, the white balance looks pretty good, but I'm just gonna put it to daylight so that it's a little bit warmer. Something like this looks pretty good. So right now I've done the minimum, right? I've gone in and made some adjustments so that the preset fits my photo. But we're not done yet. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and use masks to bring this photo even further. And if you're new here and you don't know how I do this, well, I'm gonna darken the background. Actually, it's looking kind of dark already, but we can always make it a little bit darker. I'm gonna sharpen the eyes and make them a little bit brighter. I'm gonna smoothen out her skin, and I'm gonna apply a radial gradient on her face to brighten that part of the photo. And then I'm gonna duplicate and invert that same mask and then do the opposite. So darken everything that is around her face. Okay, so first things first, background. Okay, so I've selected the background, so I'm gonna lower the exposure a little bit, like this. Perfect. So now what I'm gonna do is create a mask on her eyes and her face. Okay, so now it's created a group with all of those different masks. Now I wanna edit the eyes and the face individually. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag this here to separate them. Perfect. So now I have the eyes and iris and pupil on one group, and then I have the body skin and facial skin on another group. So I'm gonna start with the body and facial skin, and I'm just gonna zoom in here so that you can see what I'm doing. So what I'm gonna do is go down to the texture, and I'm gonna lower that. And watch what happens to her skin as I lower the texture. As you can see, it's making her face a lot more smooth. Now, you never wanna overdo these things because it can look unnatural real fast. So always, be modest with your edits. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna raise the shadows on her face a little bit to bring back some light. Perfect. And that's all I'm gonna do for the face. Then I'm gonna select the eyes. I'm gonna raise the shadows to bring, again, back some light in her eyes. Perfect. I'm gonna raise the whites a bit like this. Perfect. Then I'm gonna go down to the texture, and we're gonna do the exact opposite of what we did for her skin, right? This time we're gonna raise the texture, and this is gonna make her eyes so sharp. Look at this. Whew. Let's do a before and after. This is before, and this is after. Now, with the YouTube compression, you might not be able to notice a lot of changes, but just know that these 3 masks are already doing a lot for the photo. But we're gonna add a couple more masks. First things first, I'm gonna go here and click on radial gradient, and I'm gonna create a radial gradient on her face, like this. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to raise the exposure like that. Perfect. Now I'm gonna duplicate and invert that mask, and then I'm going to decrease the exposure. And I'm also going to decrease the blacks like this. And look at that. Now let's look at the before the masks and after the masks. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm at a loss for words. This is why I love editing photography, and this is why I love the Moody preset. So let's look at the before and after to see all the changes that we have applied to this photo. So this is the before and after. I'm just like, we have taken this photo to a whole nother world. We've transformed it to something so unique and artistic. I don't know, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments, but I'm loving how this is looking. Now, keep in mind, the Moody preset did most of the work for us. We applied it, we just had to do a couple tweaks with the shadows and the highlights, and then we applied the masks. But all of the settings, all of the initial basic settings, were all taken care of by the Moody preset. So this is it. This is my Lightroom Moody preset. If I've managed to convince you to try it out for yourself, then you can use the first link in the description below to do so. Again, it is amazing. I use it almost all the time, and I've worked really hard on it, and I love just how it can transform almost any photos to something so beautiful. For those of you out there that do end up using the Moody preset, if you post your photos on Instagram with that preset, make sure to tag me so that I can see what edits you guys are creating, and so that I can give you a shout out if you would like a shout out. Now, this preset is available for Lightroom desktop and mobile. So whether you're on a laptop, a Mac, or an iPhone, an Android, or even a tablet, you can all use this Moody preset, right? You don't need a fancy computer to do so. And by the way, if you're on iPhone or Android, Lightroom is actually free to use on your phone. So hey, try this out for yourself. It really is an amazing preset. Now, maybe you're not really into portraits, but you do take a lot of architecture photography or street photography. Now, if you want to see this preset used for this type of photography, then you can watch this video, because that is exactly what I show you. You can also click here to subscribe to my channel. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. I really appreciate every single one of you guys. The channel is growing. We've surpassed 1,000 subscribers a few days ago, and I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for watching. Stay creative, keep creating. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next one.